What's up, loves? Welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing today? I've been so tired today. Like, I usually don't drink coffee after the morning, but I just had to roast me some more because your girl is tired as hell. So we have finally figured out all the couples we're going to see in the next season of Love After Lockup. I wish they would spill the tea on their last name so I could start spilling the tea on these people's full backgrounds and start to get an idea of who all these new cast members are. If you somehow recognize any of these people in this video, let your girl know and let me know what you know about them so we can try to figure out who these people are and, you know, start making videos on them. So we thought that Sean was going to be in this next season because, as I shared in a previous video, a girl who lives in Cincinnati, Ohio had Wetv cameramen and producers, and Sean and his new girl come into this girl's restaurant, and she got pictures of them filming and pictures of her being set up with a microphone. And Sean is not going to be on this next season, but as we saw last season, they did Love After Lockup, then followed it right up with Life After Lockup, and there usually is like a year between filming and when it actually comes on TV, and we know that they were spotted like 2-3 months ago. So far we know Sean and his new girl, Christiana and John, Lacey and Shane and Amber have all been secured for another season and have already started filming. So that'll probably be a Life After Lockup season that comes on after this Love After Lockup season, I'm sure is what's going to happen. So we finally have an exact date for the next season of Love After Lockup. So it will be on June 18th of 2021 at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it will be replacing Mama June's time slot on Wetv. So there will be 6 different couples, and the most interesting couple I saw on the trailer was Stan and Lisa. So Stan is from Missouri, and that's where I live. He lives in St. Louis, and his lover Lisa is in Chillicothe prison. I thought this dude was the dude from Marrying Millions that is engaged to Bree, and they have like a 40-year age gap. I thought this dude was that dude when I first saw him because I think they look a lot alike. Stan is a retired millionaire who tragically lost his wife in 2012, and he has had trouble finding someone since his wife's passing until Lisa came along. Stan says he has over $2.3 million and he is just looking for love. He met Lisa here in 2017 on Seeking Arrangements. And for those of you who don't know, that's where sugar daddies find sugar babies. I don't know if that's where a person should exactly go to find the love of their life. But I don't know, I guess whatever works for them. They met one time in person before she went to prison, and a year and a half after she was locked up, Lisa and Stan reconnected and started a relationship while she was in prison. Stan's buddies were warning him in a spoiler scene that Lisa could be using him, but Stan is just in denial and reassured them that she can't be scamming him because she's in jail. And then it was weird. He even made a weird comment like, "Oh, I bet I dated her grandmother before," and talking about he likes them younger. And then we saw one last scene between the two of them where she was storming down the street saying this is why you shouldn't date people on the internet. I think Wetv got super excited when they heard about this relationship, thinking it was going to probably be the next version of Scott and Lindsay. I ain't going to lie, I got pretty excited when I saw this couple, and I think this is one of the couples I'm most interested to see because it's 2 different people with 2 completely different lifestyles and like a 30 to 40 year age difference trying to be on TV and fall in love. And I think I'm just going to refer to Stan as Sugar Daddy Stan from here on out. And then next, we have a love story you'd hear about on the news or on court TV, the prison guard who fell in love with an inmate. Every story I've ever heard of prison guards falling in love with inmates and being with them outside of prison always ended tragic. So Courtney was actually a prison lieutenant, and she fell for one of the inmates by the name of Josh, who was an inmate at the prison she worked at, and they fell in love, which in turn caused Courtney to lose her job. She went to jail for 60 days in Ohio, and she is still on probation for it to this day. This did allow them to continue their relationship, though, by proxy while Josh was in jail. Neither one of them were present for the wedding, but they are now married and both in the free world and trying to see where life takes them from there. And there was a spoiler scene that shows Josh getting on one knee proposing to Courtney, and I'm sure she said yes. I'm just very interested to see how this whole relationship dynamic works when you have a former prison lieutenant dating a felon. This should be quite interesting. And this is the next couple I'm the most excited to see in this upcoming season. I think they're going to have a very juicy storyline. And next we have Devonte and Nicole. So Devonte kind of reminds me of Sucker Sean from the last season that was with Destiny, because Nicole isn't Devonte's first inmate he's been with. He was with an inmate before her, and she drained him of all of his money. So he ended up having to move back in with his mom. And then Nicole gets out of prison and moves in with Devonte and his family. And Nicole is known for being a party girl and being pretty wild, and Devonte is more of a conservative. He likes to stay at home and just chill and watch movies. So they're quite the opposites. So I don't know if they're going to have a long-term relationship, but Devonte seems like a pushover. Like he'll kind of bow down and be submissive and listen to whatever Nicole says. For some reason, he reminds me of somebody, but I can't put my finger on it. Like, I want to say he looks like Radio from the movie Radio, but I'm not sure, but he looks like somebody I know, and it's driving me crazy because I can't figure out exactly who. And also there was a scene where Devonte, Nicole, and his mom were sitting at a dinner table, and she was saying she didn't really have no like sexual drive or want to have sex, and she's like, no, I think you have a sexual drive, you just don't want to have sex with him, because she keeps making excuses why she can't have sex with him. And then there's another scene they showed where she's yelling at him saying that she is not going to have sex with him unless he helps her get her breast done. And so she's kind of holding that over his head in a way so she can get what she wants. And next we have Rachel and Doug. They are both from Minnesota. Rachel went to Right a Prisoner and she met Doug, but this is her third relationship with an inmate. Right a Prisoner is a popular website I've seen a lot of people on this show use to meet inmates, and they got married while he was in prison, and they have never even been intimate yet. But Rachel is taking care of Doug's son while he is locked up, and he thinks that Rachel is way too easy on his son, and he says he's gonna get out of prison and get this household in shape and get things all back together. And he also says he's never been faithful to one partner his whole life, and he's been one of those guys that doesn't really get in long-term relationship. He just, kind of sleeps around. So we'll see if things work out, but Rachel's family is so against this relationship. They think it's a disaster waiting to happen, and Rachel is a very hard-working woman who's taken over the job as a mom in his kid's life. So we'll see if he's just trying to find somebody to be a sugar mama and take care of him and his kid, or if he's really looking for love. And next we have Brittany and Ray, who are both from Texas. So Brittany is a hard worker. She comes from a good family, and they have the expectation out of her that, she finds somebody who has a strong family and they're hard working and they, don't have a past. But Brittany's man is everything but that. So she met this guy named Ray on Facebook, and she's like, are you in jail? And she realized that he was in jail, but she ended up falling for him. Ray had a really, really hard life growing up. His mom passed away, and that's what sent him downhill, spiraling downhill. And he went to prison because he was selling drugs. And now Brittany, she's 32 years old, and she's ready for Ray to get out of prison and for them to get married first thing and hopefully have a chance of having a family. But Brittany's family, they're not for this relationship whatsoever, and a lot of the spoilers, we see her going back and forth with her family because they just don't think this relationship is a good idea whatsoever. And her mother said that she was not going to give Brittany her blessing if she decided to marry Ray. And next we have, I think I'm saying this right, Anissa and Jeffrey. So Anissa is from Tennessee and Jeffrey is from Louisiana. They met 10 years ago on a pen pal website, and they started writing each other, and then they started talking on the phone, and then they started seeing each other in person. And so she's been supporting Jeffrey this whole 10 years, and she's put every dollar she has into this man and just pretty much supported him emotionally and financially this whole 10 years. There's been 2 different times he was supposed to get released from jail and he ended up not getting released. So she is having second thoughts if this guy is even being truthful with her. This kind of reminds me of the whole Lamondre and Andrea relationship, when, you know, she thought he was about to get out of jail and he never did. But we do know he does get out of jail because we see spoilers of them, you know, in this next season, as you see in here, pictures of them kissing and all that. But Anissa swears this is her last chance. She's giving Jeffrey to be real with her. And then we see in a spoiler scene that she's going off on Jeffrey, saying that he hasn't changed and he's still doing the same BS he was doing before he went to jail. And so, I don't know. It doesn't look good to me. It might be a matter of time before we see him going back to jail. I'm kind of surprised they only have 6 couples. I thought they usually have 7. In case, you know, somebody does end up going back to jail, they have like a backup couple. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited to see these new couples? And let me know in the comments below which couples you are the most excited to see. June 18th, baby. It's almost here. Like, what, 3-4 more weeks before we get to see the new season. I'm pretty pumped. I cannot wait. But also, I guess Love After Lockup and Life After Lockup, the last seasons, they were the highest rated seasons of all time. That's exciting. I saw Quaylin bragging about that on IG and posting the post that WeTV posted saying that. But that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss a tea while it's still hot. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.